Okay, I hope that started a new one, but with my luck, it probably just tacked it on to the last one. But what are you going to do, right? All right, so this is greater or equal, and this is less or equal. So what I want to do for a few minutes today is we're going to talk about how these things work so that we understand what it means. So we're going to be working with a lot of number lines, all right? Not a big deal, shouldn't be a big deal for you. Now, one of the things that I decided a long time ago when I was doing number lines was that, when you first learn number lines, your teachers always told you had to put all these different lines in, right? That you just had to have everything, one, two, you had to label every line. Well, we don't need to do that, honestly. I think that's personally, I think that's a real waste of time because at this level, if we don't know that positive numbers are here and negative numbers are here, um, we got a lot more problems than whether or not our graph is labeled for our number line for graphing inequalities, right? So what I want to show you is let's do an example. What if I say 5 is greater than x? And we're going to say that this is x, okay? This is going to represent x. So what does that look like? Well, I'm going to put a 5 here because that's the number that's in my inequality, right? Now I'm going to circle the 5 because that's where my inequality starts. Now it isn't equal, so I'm just going to leave it open because that tells me that 5 isn't included. Does that make sense to say that since it's open, that the number 5 is not one of the included numbers? Because we're basically explicitly you were explicitly saying that doesn't count. Now here it says 5 is greater than x. So the way I like to explain this, and I need everyone to really be focusing on what I'm saying because this stuff can kill your brain or it can be as easy as pie. But you got to listen to how I'm explaining how this works, okay? Now, I like working with big numbers because when you deal with a big number, there's no doubt of where that number is. So I'm going to use 1,000 as my value for x. And watch what I'm going to do. Is 5 greater than 1,000? Is 5 greater than 1,000? No. Well, 1,000's over here, right? So if 1,000 is over here, then the arrow for my inequality has to point to the other direction, right? Because if it went this way, it would include 1,000, and we know that it doesn't. Now we'll do another one. So if you're like, I'm not sure I got that, well, don't worry, we're not done yet, right? Let's do another one. I always like to put 0 in just because I think that's a good borderline to put in. What if I said that 7 is less than x? So I'm going to mark 7. I'm going to circle it. Now I'm going to plug my 1,000 in again, okay? Now, I promised to teach you more than one method of this, but I like using the big number because I think it makes it easy to figure out which way the arrow goes, okay? Is 7 less than 1,000? Yeah, right? So if 7 is less than 1,000, that means that 1,000 is part of the answer, right? And if it's part of the answer, then the arrow needs to go towards 1,000. Okay? Because what this says is that x equals every number greater than 7, right? So if x is every number greater than 7, 6 wouldn't work, 5 wouldn't work, that's smaller. So it's going to be all the numbers on the right-hand side of 7 is going to be what our value for x is, okay? Now that could be a lot of stuff. It could be something like, I want to buy a toy at the store and it costs $7.01. Draw a graph of that. Well, this would draw that graph, wouldn't it? I need more than $7 to buy that toy. If I had $1 million, would I have enough to buy the toy? Yep. What if I had $5? Nope. So This is how we use inequalities, okay? What do you think? Does that kind of make sense? Are you kind of getting the hang of this? We're not done yet. Don't worry. I'm going to still do more, but give me a thumbs up if this is starting to make sense. We're like, oh, okay, that's kind of a neat way of looking at it. Okay. I know that a lot of your teachers taught you like, look which way the arrow's pointing or whichever one is being eaten. That's great. But you know what? Those are things that we use to help people understand it the first time. I want you guys to understand it from a mathematics standpoint, right? So I want to make sure that you can get it right off the bat, okay? And I want it to be math based, not like some little trick that you learned in elementary school. Is that fair? Oh, we lost Kendra. Here she comes back though. She got so excited about inequality, she just fell off the call. Wow, that's kind of scary, really. I mean, I know Denia was like losing it there. She was so excited, but she seems to have been able to control herself nonetheless. So that's good. All right, let's do another one, shall we? So what if I did one that looked like this and I said -5 is greater than X? Well, again, I like to put my 0 in. I'm going to put my -5 in. I'm going to circle -5, right? Now, I'm going to plug my numbers in. I like to use 1,000. 1,000 works. It makes sense for me. So I'm going to use 1,000. And I'm going to say, is -5 greater than 1,000? Is -5 bigger than 1,000? No way. Since it's not, and 1,000 is over here, then it has to go the other way, away from 1,000, because we figured out that 1,000 isn't part of the answer. So understand with inequalities, you're either doing this half or you're doing this half. That number splits up the number line and says the answers are either all on the left or all on the right until we get into more complex ones. Is this making sense? Wow, it's got people. Denia says she's got it, so that's cool. I know Jalissa already said she got it. Ashlyn, how about you guys that are lurking today? You want to give me a thumbs up so I know that you're alive? Just give me a thumbs up if this is making sense. Okay, good, good. And we're going to keep doing some more. So this is just like the little lesson, and then we're going to go through some of the homework together, okay? But what I want to do is, I always like to teach you a bit of the lesson. I feel that the lesson usually is best served by actually doing, as opposed to me sitting here and yapping at you for an hour. Have you ever seen me teach for a whole hour? I don't teach for a whole hour, do I? You'll never see me do it in a regular class too. I never do it. I'm fully aware of the fact that my students begin to lose their minds after about 20 minutes, and it's better to have them go to work on stuff than it is to Becca's really having problems getting in. All right, so this is part of our homework for tonight. You see that I marked it as the regular class 126-21. I have posted it. So yeah. So let's look at this first one. X is greater than 5. Well, if X is greater than 5, okay, I'm going to circle 5, right? So I'm going to have a number line that's going to have 5. I'm going to circle it, and I'm going to use my 1,000. Is 1,000, because I remember I'm plugging it back in for X, right? Is 1,000 greater than 5? Yeah. Well, if 1,000 is greater than 5, then my arrow goes towards 1,000. If the answer was no, 1,000 isn't greater than 5, then it would have to go the other direction, right? Because 1,000 couldn't be part of the solution. Yes? Hey, Becca. Wow. Have an internet problem? Oh, did we lose her again already? Oh, no, she's still here. Sorry, your face, your picture suddenly moved. I thought, oh my God, I lost you. All right, so let's take a look at number 2 here. Peyton, go right now and have fun. It's fine. If you've got, who's got snow at your house right now? Okay, get the heck out of my class and go play in the snow. Dead serious. I've got this recorded. If you have snow, go out and play. I'm deadly serious. It doesn't snow that often. Go out and have some fun. I'm entirely serious. I'm not kidding.
Thank you.
Denia's like, you're lying. No, I'm not. If you've got snow falling at your house, go out and have fun. That's a lot more
Bye.
important
Have
than
a
stupid
good
math
day.
lesson.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys have fun. It's a lot more important than some stupid math lesson. I promise you. Denia, do you have snow where you're at? Go play in the snow, goober. It's okay. It's okay. It's a good thing. Kendra, you leaving? You got snow? Get out of here. All right. Abrielle, yes, you can go. Daniel's asleep. I'm dead serious, guys. If you have snow where you're at, go have fun. It's totally fine. Humanity must reign over math. All right, so I'm going to continue the lesson that I'm recording, and then I'll just put it up online. So when we do this, we're going to say we have -6 is greater than a. Well, so I'm going to set up my number line, and I'm just going to put the -6 here this time because I don't need to have everything else. I could just do the -6. Since there's no line under here, I'm going to circle it. So let's see. So now I'm going to look at this and I'm going to put my 1,000 in again. So I like to use my 1,000 and say, remember where 1,000 is. And I'm going to say, is -6 greater than a or greater than 1,000? Well, no, it's not. So that means it can't go through towards 1,000. It has to go through. It has to go to -6 or away from 1,000. So it's all the numbers that are smaller. Okay. I'm going to do a couple more here, and then I'm going to end the lesson, and then you guys will be excused to go work on it. So this is 1, this is 2, let's look at 3. So this says -2 is greater than or equal to k. Okay, so now that's a new sign. Now when I have a greater than or equal to or less than or equal to, I'm going to fill that circle in because that circle tells me that -2 is part of the possible solution. And that line here, whoops, I'm so sorry, I didn't have that on camera. This line here tells me that it's equal or greater than. So I'm still going to put my 1,000 out here because I like using my 1,000. And we're going to say is -2 greater than or equal to 1,000? No, it's not. Therefore, this can't be the solution. It has to go that way. One more and then we're done. Let's see. So now we've got 2 is greater than k. Now, since there's no line, I'm not going to fill it in. I'm going to use my 1,000 again. Is 2 greater than 1,000? Because remember, I'm plugging it in right here. 2 is not greater than 1,000. Therefore, 1,000 is not part of the solution. And that is what our solution is going to look like for that problem. All right. Okay. So we'll work on this some more tomorrow. Not to worry. And we should be